I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Have you joined the fastest growing fantasy motorsports app yet? On Grid Rival, you can join leagues with your friends and manage your own fantasy team on what race fans are calling, hands down, the best fantasy motorsport app out there. F1 and MotoGP leagues are now live for the 2021 season. Joining a league on Grid Rival will make every race more exciting, more engaging, and of course, more competitive. Download Grid Rival now on your iPhone or Android smartphone. Grid Rival is an unofficial application and not associated with Formula One, MotoGP, or any of their athletes.
Invasive species are one of the biggest issues facing our natural resources and the environment today. Think of things like Dutch elm disease, the spotted lanternfly, and cats. Perhaps the most dangerous of these is the Homo caput stercoris, commonly referred to as the front plater. An invasive species coming from New York, New Jersey, and anywhere else that has a license plate on the front of their car. The biggest threat from this pest is the spread of excrement. These savages cause harm to many native species and have even spawned an entirely new one, the Beltsville lake monster. Here at the DeWeather Institute for Climate Knowledge, we have a dedicated group of volunteers working tirelessly to clean up the mess. The team of emergency responders for dispersion and skimming, or the turds. But the job is just too big, and we can't do it without your help. So be a hero, be a turd. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another, well, quite frankly, spectacular season coming up here of live iRacing on the National Racing Network. Tonight, the Silver Crown Cup kicks off 2022 season number 1. Happy New Year, everybody. My name is Chris Graham. It's a pleasure to have you hanging out with us here this evening. Practice has just wrapped up. Qualifications just getting underway. Let's pick up off of turn 4, getting ready to set lap number 1 here. That is Brandon Buckberger. You're defending a champion by just 10 points over Thomas Lewandowski. Buckberger entering the night with the number 4 on the front of that race car as the 4th highest I-rated driver in the field. And we'll bring the graphics up here, show you who's going to go where. Derek Love will be set quick time at a 21.850, 21.850 seconds. New quick time, Tyler Shattuck, 21.782. Manuel Paredes quickly jumped to the top of the board, and Shattuck able to come right past him. Buckberger going just a tick slower. Let's see what Shattuck's going to be able to do here on his second lap. He will come across the line and does not improve his time. Ian Lane driving the number 2. How about it for a second lap? 21:843, the quick time for Ian Lane. Let's pick up Jeffrey Stanton as he's making his way around. Just getting that number 5 machine up to speed. Nate Ranky jumping up to 12th quick. Cristobal Valenzuela to 11th on the board. Wes Shire going to be pretty quick there. How about Valenzuela up to 5th quick? 21.887 seconds. Pretty darn good lap times all the way around here. Nate Ranky moving up to 5th quick. Stanton going to take that final spot in the top 5 at the completion of lap number 1, 21.854 seconds. 21.854. Lap number 2 for Stanton. He will come across the line. How about Pablo Donoso up to 3rd quick? This lap looks like a heater as well. Thomas Lewandowski, new quick time, 21.710 seconds. Donoso up to 4th quick. A little bit slower at the first half of the racetrack. He's going to be 0.2 slower on lap number 2. Looks like Lewandowski also going to be a tick slower, and that will wrap up qualifications here for race number 1 of the iRacing Silver Crown Cup here at the Iowa Speedway. Let's tell you a little bit about this place. Located in Newton, Iowa. 7/8 of a mile, banking varying from 12 to 14 degrees progressively in the corners. Racetrack first opened in 2006. C&R, the constructor on these cars, 355 cubic inch V8s, the fat bottom girls of the USAC National Touring Series. This series, however, no longer sanctioned by USAC on the iRacing platform. 819 horsepower from that V8 American Iron at a 102-inch wheelbase. Going to see top speeds potentially of 170 miles per hour. Field getting ready to get out to the grid.
Good luck, guys.
Let's pick up Tyler Shattuck here. Looks like we're going to have the in-car chat, so we will apologize if anything gets said over that in advance. Let's show you the starting grid for tonight's race. Thomas Lewandowski and Tyler Shattuck going to occupy row number 1. Manuel Paredes, Pablo Donoso on row number 2. Ian Lane, Derek Love on row 3. Jeffrey Stanton and Nate Ranky on row number 4. Cristobal Valenzuela, Brandon Buckberger on row 5. Ryan Steele, J.W. Miller on row number 6. Row 7 will have Kenneth Gorell and James Watson. Brian Elmore and Josh Batista on row number 8. Row 9, Wayne Hutchison and Laura Gerhart. Joe Gauthier, Wes Shire on row 10, and Tommy Toe will round out the field here on the final row, 11th and final row tonight. 21 cars in this field out of a 41-car total entry list. Field splits at 29, so we're going to go 21 and 20 across 2 splits. This one is going to be a ton of fun here this evening. All right, now we've given the drivers a little bit of privacy here, so we will not be able to hear the in-sim chat Forgot I was doing some driving on iRacing here over the last couple of weeks. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in here on YouTube and on Twitch. Give us a shout in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. As we get ready to go green flag racing for 80 laps here around the Iowa Speedway. This one should be fun. Buckberger, your Division 1 champion last season. James Watson, your Division 2 champ. Robert Reynolds getting the championship in Division 3. We'll see some Division 3 drivers here in the top split. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the start of the iRacing Silver Crown Cup is going to be all yours. Lap number 1 very quickly in the books, and it will be Thomas Lewandowski getting out to the early race lead. Pablo Donoso, Derek Love battling side by side off at 2. Donoso going to be able to clear it down to the inside. He'll have about a half car length. 3 wide, just a little bit further back. That's not a good idea here. The 11 and 8 Ranky down on the inside of the racetrack, battling with Ian Lane and Brandon Buckberger. You do get some drop weeks in this series, but you don't want to burn them on week number 1, that's for sure. Ranky holds to the inside, around, still working on Buckberger. Jeffrey Stanton, high, wide, and handsome in 3 and 4. Top 4 have settled down. It's going to be a little bit of a dogfight here back behind them. Stanton working the outside of Ranky into turn number 3. Stanton's really getting that car wound up on the high side. It's going to be interesting to watch how he comes forward, because that car is going to be shot out of a cannon off that 4th corner, and he will easily clear Nate Ranky. Ranky going to take the shorter way around the racetrack, but he'll have to fall back in line. Kenneth Gurrell battling with Cristobal Valenzuela. James Watson just back behind that fight as well. A little bit further forward here, Buckberger and Lane going to be side by side, and Jeffrey Stanton still thinking about peeking his nose up there on the outside of the racetrack. Multi-groove racing at its finest. Possibly a little bit of pack racing going to be coming up here later in the race as well, with some of the drivers talking about the fact that once you start getting too wide, it really brings everybody back into play. Top 3 trying to separate themselves out. That's Lewandowski, Shattuck, and Donoso. A little bit further back, going to be Derek Love, Manuel Paredes, Brandon Buckberger. All of these drivers running in single file. In fact, single file through about most of the field here. Had to get back to James Watson before we saw anybody having a big-time look here, but now the battle's going to be on. Oh, man, Stanton may have gotten the outside wall. Here comes Ranky down to the inside. Stanton going to clear Ryan Steele. But Ranky going to be right there as well. We are already working lap number 9 of 80. Battle for the lead starting to heat up here. Tyler Shattuck having the peek down to the inside. Pablo Donoso going to hang right there with him. Top 3 will once again get single file. We go right back to Jeffrey Stanton and Manuel Paredes. Stanton making that outside lane work. In fact, Derek Love sliding up the racetrack, trying to take away a little bit of the front end there off the 5 of Stanton, who just set the fastest lap of the race at a 21.95. Get you a good look here from the overhead shot. You can really see how far up the racetrack Jeffrey Stanton is running that number 94 machine. If you're following on timing and scoring, Stanton is the 5. Using that custom number scheme, Stanton going to show up as the 94, and he easily clears Derek Love. Biggest mover of the night right now is Jeffrey Stanton. He's your hard charger, up 3 positions as the battle for the lead once again starts to intensify just a little bit. Lewandowski having the peak inside of Shattuck. Not quite close enough to attempt the pass. I don't know that there's a lot of incentive for Shattuck to try that either. How about the freight train that's developing here around the top of the racetrack? After watching Jeffrey Stanton blow by them on the high side, just about everybody from 5th back to 10th is running that high line. Nate Ranky, the exception to that rule at this point. He runs about the middle groove of the racetrack in the Hellman's number 11. James Watson still battling with Ian Lane. A couple of refined motorsports cars there. Oh, they almost make contact. Hold on to it, boys. Not sure if that was left side loving or right side romance. Both cars going for the same piece of real estate. But Watson is able to clear. At the front of the field, Jeffrey Stanton has continued his charge. He's all the way up to 4th, now battling with Pablo Donoso. Same thing. Shattuck tried to take a little bit of the air off the front of the 94. Stan able to clear Donoso off at turn 2 that time. 10.5 minutes into this one, and we are almost at the 1/4 distance. Comments are awfully quiet tonight. What's going on with you people? Give us a shout. Let us know where you're watching from. Stanton up on the outside of Shattuck into 1. How about that 94 machine? Jeffrey Stanton up to P2. And he is wasting no time going after Thomas Lewandowski. Top 10 have separated themselves out here. Possibly a little bit of contact back there for James Watson and Ian Lane, who are battling. Watson now being scored 1.7 seconds behind Lane for the 10th position. Stanton going to change things up. He going to throw the slide job in turn 1. Does not clear Lewandowski, but how about the drive for Jeffrey Stanton? That's a man on a mission right there. But he's given up his preferred high side of the racetrack. And Tyler Shattuck going to be right there as they get to turn number 1. Front nose to rear tail tank. Stanton again gets it back up to the outside of the racetrack down the back straightaway. Fantastic drive tonight for your hard charger, Jeffrey Stanton. Up 5 from the drop of the green flag here this evening. Good run for Brandon Buckberger as well. He's up 4. Ryan Steele is up 3. Josh Batista back there in 12th, up 4. So now we have a 4-car pack, a 6-car pack, and then kind of the rest of the field working their way through here. Issues in the first half of this race for Tommy Toe, Wayne Hutchison, and Joe Gauthier. all of those cars running anywhere from 7 to 9.5 seconds behind your race leaders. You almost wonder, did Jeffrey Stanton burn the right side tires off of that number 94? He is not making up a ton of ground, and Tyler Shattuck is going to have a shot here down to the inside into 3. Side by side just a little bit further back as well. 2, 3, 4 in a good battle. Also, Brandon Buckberger and Manuel Paredes side by side off the corner. Stanton thus far able to hold off Shattuck and Donoso, so we'll pick up this battle. Dirk Love kind of sitting right in the middle of this group. Problem now is 2, 3, and 4 have to worry about not only racing each other, but losing sight of the race leader, and the fact that their dueling has allowed this second pack to catch up. This is exactly what Thomas Lewandowski wanted to see to start this season. In a very, very strong field, as always. There you see them. All A licenses. I ratings anywhere from 2,500 up to about 5,800, 6,000. Very, very good field of drivers here in round number 1 of the iRacing Silver Crown Cup here from the Iowa Speedway. Thomas Lewandowski has escaped to a 1.5 second lead over Jeffrey Stanton. Shattuck and Donoso continue to run 3 and 4. Let's go on board here with, we'll go on board with Derek Love. You can hear him very ginger on the throttle. There's a big hump there. You saw it right at the exit of turn 2. Wants to pitch the car sideways. If you're on the seam of the racetrack, when you get over that hump, that can be big time ugly. Donoso having the peak to the inside of Shattuck off of 2. Going to have to fall back in line. What the heck? We haven't done one of these for a little bit here. Pick up Tyler Shattuck. Let's give you fans at home a chance to crank it up. This battle for third going to continue to rage. Oh, my goodness. 3 wide just back behind them. Brandon Buckberger going to be right in the middle of that fight. Oh, man, they're getting the tank slappers off of turn 2 there as well. Nate Ranky down to the inside. This is the pack racing we thought might form later in the race. Turns out it's starting up here at about lap 37. It's allowed Jeffrey Stanton to break away from Shattuck and Donoso. And you got this dog pile of race cars right back behind. Love, Buckberger, Steele, Paredes, and Lane. Shattuck and Donoso back to being nose to tail, but they may need some caution flag help here if they want to get caught back up to Thomas Lewandowski at the front of the field. Donoso and Shattuck back to being side by side. Now Nate Ranky going to get things wound up on the high side. Ranky up around the outside of Donoso. He'll clear him at the line, but going to be a little bit of a block there out of Shattuck, taking the air off the front end of Ranky's car. You can see it. It makes a huge difference. Got to try to get a little bit of air to the right front corner of that car. Just get it planted and try to keep the car rotating. Once again, this battle has put Jeffrey Stanton out to a 1 second advantage over Shattuck, Ranky, and Donoso. And it's another full second up to race leader Thomas Lewandowski. A little bit further back here, Paredes and Lane going to do battle. We're seeing almost 4 racing grooves developing here at the Iowa Speedway. Absolutely fantastic race. If you're enjoying it, give it a like and a share. Say hello to us in the comments, too. We'll try to get them up on the screen for you. Ranky still to the inside of Shattuck through 1 and 2. Drivers talked about late in the run getting a little bit of a push mid-corner, and that push was going to get progressively worse. You're starting to see that. Ranky enters down beneath the dashed line on the low side of the racetrack, drifts up about a half lane. Oh, man, Shattuck may have gotten the outside safer barrier off at turn number 4. Donoso has to take some evasive action. 21 minutes in, and we are just past the halfway point. Shattuck and Donoso continue side by side. Derek Love showing a lot of patience back there. And he's going to be able to clear Donoso off at turn 2. Pablo fights right back to the inside of the racetrack. Oh, man, 3 wide just back behind him. This is the fight from 4th place, Tyler Shattuck, back through 9th place, Ian Lane. Ryan Steele has been able to get around James Watson. Paredes and Lane continuing side by side, as are Buckberger and Donoso. What a move by Derek Love, going 2 for 1 there in turns 1 and 2. Shattuck really up against the outside retaining wall. That's going to take that preferred line away from these drivers. Almost forces you to run just a little bit lower. And Nate Ranky is closing ground here on Jeffrey Stanton for position number 2. So we are down to 30 to go here in the season opener for the Silver Crown Cup. A lot of racing action coming up for you here 2022 Season 1 on the National Racing Network. Tomorrow night, our friends from Snydersville Raceway are back starting at, I believe, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. NRN goes back to the dirt. Big blocks versus small blocks. Cannot wait to get back and start calling some dirt racing. We'll have our buddy James Watson in the booth with us. Might even have Bert Wojcik with us as well. And we're kicking things off in a big way tomorrow night, heading to the dirt track at Bristol Motor Speedway. Get after it, boys. Starting to do just that here in the Silver Crown race as Cristobal Valenzuela heads for pit lane. Jeffrey Stanton is under attack from Nate Ranky. The gap for race leader Thomas Lewandowski, a full second and a half over this pair. Maybe with some drafting help, if they stay in line and play nice, maybe they can get there. But Ranky going to get down to the inside. He wants second. This side-by-side battle going to continue between Ranky and Stanton. Oh, man, Ranky just about lost it off of turn number 4. Nice save. Nate there in the 11 machine. The question now is, are we going to see a caution flag? It's not what Ranky and Stanton want to see for sure. And Lewandowski really doesn't want to see it. We haven't hardly shown the leader here tonight. But quite frankly, he's been out on his own for just about the entire race here. Sliding back in the field, Shattuck, Buckberger, Donoso, Lane, and Love still fighting. Put Manuel Paredes in that fight as well. And Ryan Steele is starting to catch up there. Lane having a look down to the inside of Donoso. This is a good drive for Ian Lane. He's down 2 spots from where he started this race, but he got a little bit back in the pack. Was as far back as, I believe, 9th or 10th even at one point in the race. Shattuck and Buckberger continuing side by side. Now Buckberger going to fall back in line. 20 to go here at Iowa. Oh man, Shattuck way up against the outside safer barrier. How about it, Ian Lane? He's down to the inside. 3 wide off of turn number 4. Loses. He doesn't have nearly the momentum built up that everybody else does, though. Man, Lane gets such a good run into the corner. Just loses it all down the straightaways. Could we be seeing that inside lane come back to life a little bit here? Ian Lane's starting to make it work. Something we haven't talked about yet. Weather conditions for tonight's race presented by our friends at the Weather Center. 75-degree ambient temperature, 85-degree track temperature. So things a little bit on the loose side there for these guys. And ladies, by the way, Laura Gerhardt running back there in the 16th position. As many of you know, a really just incredible series of storms striking a 6-state area, but the area of western Kentucky hit very, very hard. Our friends at the Weather Center will be heading out that way this week doing a relief drive. They're collecting a lot of supplies here in the eastern Pennsylvania area, but you can also donate cash that's going to go out there, especially to some of the local fire and emergency services departments that quite literally have lost every piece of equipment they have to help their communities. They're all volunteers. Venmo at DeWeather, D-E Weather, if you would like to help contribute to those efforts. Ian Lane making that inside lane work. Still trying to fight towards the front. He's all the way up to 6th. But by the midpoint of the corners, he's almost to 4th. Car just has a ton of grip there on the bottom side of the racetrack. And if he saved the tires, could be a key to success here tonight for Ian Lane. But at this point, he is running out of time as we are going to be down to 10 laps to go next time by the start-finish line. Cristobal Valenzuela, the only car out of the race at this point. Still 20 cars running, and 18 of them are on the lead lap. So a caution flag really could absolutely blow this race wide open. Oh, that's tight off the corner. Wow. Tyler Shattuck making that car 3 lanes wide on corner exit. That could be the gap that Lane needed off the bottom of the racetrack, though. Oh, they're almost making contact again. That was Manuel Paredes bumping into Brandon Buckberger. Buckberger back to the 8th position. Not the way he wanted to start a title defense here this evening. Lane finally clears Tyler Shattuck up to P4. Once again, the Silver Crown cars putting on an absolutely epic battle here at the Iowa Speedway. Every week, these cars put on an incredible show. Oh, man, that was tight. They're making contact. Shattuck down to the inside of the racetrack. Paredes running the outside. Shattuck going to slide up just a little bit. He may lose the spot to Pablo Donoso. We are down to 4 laps to go. And we still have a shot at overtime. Should an incident happen on the racetrack? But we have completed 77, almost 78 laps, caution-free. Things seem to have settled down just a little bit, and we are down to 2 laps to go, but don't go anywhere because Nate Ranky is closing on Thomas Lewandowski. Off at turn number 4, white flag will go in the air, this time by Lewandowski. Just 7/8 of a mile left to go to claim a dominating win here in week number 1 in what is by far the fastest strength of field race this week for the Silver Crowns. Ranky sends it way deep into turn number 3, but it won't matter. Checkered flag is in the air. Thomas Lewandowski claims the win at Iowa. Nate Ranky, Jeffrey Stanton, Ian Lane, and Manuel Paredes will round out your top 5. What a drive for Thomas Lewandowski. Everything he could have wanted in a race here this evening. $80 laps, clean and green, 33 minutes, the time of the race. How about it, boys? Well done. Take a look and see who we have to talk to here. Looks like we have Jeffrey Stanton available for us. So while we wait for some of the other drivers to come back in here, we'll kick things off with Jeffrey Stanton. And Jeffrey, I'll tell you what here, bud. You were doing something nobody else was early in this race, running that Harry Gant line around the outside of the racetrack. By the time you passed everybody, they were kind of dogpiling up there against the wall. What was the secret sauce? Was it setup? Was it throttle control? What was it that had that car so quick?
I think I just burnt my tires off, honestly. I got a little bit tight there about 30 laps in, and I started working the weight jacker back the other way. I tried catching Thomas, but I had burnt my tires off at that point.
Yeah, it seemed like it was one of those races where unless we got a caution flag, Thomas was going to be very, very difficult to get caught up and passed. What were your thoughts on this? I was kind of expecting a little bit more pack racing than we saw, especially at the front of the field.
Yeah, this is about the race I expected here. I always like ripping the top here, so that's why I try to, factor around the night. But that's about what I figured. I figured the tires would burn off pretty quick, and just try to manage that. But I was just hoping it would stay green, which it did, thankfully, on my end. Because if it was a yellow, I was probably gonna be toast because the heat cycles. I was going to get way too tight.
Well, you put on a heck of a show there. Number 2 on the hard charger list here tonight, gaining 4 positions. All in all, a good way to kick off the season for sure.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Well, let's get the sponsor plugs and thank yous in here before we let you go as well.
Napa Auto Parts, Rockwell, everyone else that supports me, all for broadcasting. All
right, Jeffrey, thank you very much here. Let's bring up our runner-up finisher tonight here, Mr. Nate Ranky, and I'll tell you what, man, the car looked pretty darn good, and once you got up on the high side, it was kind of game on then.
Yeah, man, I love the top at this place. It's tricky in these cars to get the timing down. It's a little funky out of 2, but you can make a lot out of 4. So it's a lot of fun up there. I love it.
Were you expecting the kind of tire fall off that we saw tonight? It seemed like, especially late in that race, just holding position was going to be an accomplishment.
Yeah, I knew I was going to run the top because that's what I'd like to do here. I knew I was going to beat up the tires, so I probably spent the first about 15, 20 laps just kind of riding in line there, keeping a little more tire under me, and that was probably why I was able to make a little bit of a charge there.
I was going to say, last handful of laps or so, you really started to make some ground up on Thomas. Were you thinking that you would need a caution to get all the way there, or did you think you had enough tire left in the bank to maybe get to him at least?
I didn't want to restart because when you go to make a move on somebody here on a restart, it seals off the lane behind you if you need to bail out. So I wanted to get him one-on-one, and I was gaining on him. I'm not sure if I was faster or if he was doing a little rope-a-dope or saving some tires for a caution there.
Well, it was a very good run for you tonight to kick off the season, a spectacular points night. What are you thinking here as we head into Kentucky, Bristol, and then Motegi over the next few weeks?
I like Kentucky. Bristol's Bristol, man. It's wild, and Motegi's a fun, unique track. So no, they're all going to be fun. Good race with these guys. It was a pretty clean race from where I was at. I got tight on some guys, and they got tight with me. So, but it was good, hard, clean racing.
Yeah, this one was a lot of fun to watch tonight. And before we let you go here, let's make sure we get all your sponsor plugs and thank yous in as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I got to thank Hellman's for being on the car. There's nothing better than a Hellman's sandwich. And then other than that, I want to shout out to, I'm going to guess I got a couple fans in Lisbon watching me here tonight. I'll shout out to them, Raul and Deb. And then, you guys for doing the broadcast, and all the guys that, help with the broadcast, and all the guys that I race against that make this a blast. It's a whole bunch of fun.
Yes, this is one of the best cars on the iRacing platform, and nobody can convince me otherwise. Thank you very much, Nate. We appreciate that one, buddy. And, I tell you what, not a bad way to start off 2022 Season 1. Yes, it is. It's not quite 2022 yet on the calendar, but 2022 Season 1 kicking off in a very big way for the iRacing platform. Coming up tomorrow night, it'll be return of the artist formerly known as Wide Open Wednesday, courtesy of our friends at Snydersville Raceway. Let's see. Trying to find what they have named the season here. The Tear It Up Tuesday iRacing series. That sounds exactly like what's going to be happening in that one. Big blocks versus small block modifieds on the dirt. We'll be bringing it all to you right here on the National Racing Network, kicking off at 7 p.m. in the East tomorrow night. Single car qualifying, heat races, B mains, and then it will be feature time for the ground pounders of the Northeast. We cannot wait. Man, I love getting to watch the dirt racing here. And tomorrow night, it's going to be coming up to you from Bristol Motor Speedway. Coming up on Thursday night, we're back with the double headers. The Grid Rival Ezra IndyCar Series. They are going to head to Michigan International Speedway. Place the Indy cars should be running in the real world. And the PM18s, the Indy Pro 2000 Championship, will kick off their season at the all-new Watkins Glen. It's a full rescan. All the trackside stuff looks great. We can't wait to bring you one of the first races here broadcast from Watkins Glen as well. But with that, it is time for us to get out of here. For camera designer Connor Baldwin, a spectacular job once again here, brother. Thank you very much. We appreciate your help. And everybody else here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. It's been a pleasure to hang out with you. We will talk to you all soon. Have a good night, everybody.